welcome you into our family here at CKMS. Please be aware that almost all of this information was sent home to you in a music handbook packet. If you haven't seen this packet, please check the bottom of your student's backpack, the floor under the pile of clothes you've been asking them to put away for 2 weeks, and probably the bin where you keep the dog's chew toys. You never know. This is the contact info you'll need to reach me if you have any questions or concerns, but please know that the music room is open to all my parents at all times. If you'd like to come by during lunch or after school or even during your student's rehearsal, you're more than welcome. I leave it up to you to decide whether you want to hide behind my office door and see how little Johnny acts when you're not around, or sit right next to him and lavish him with affection in front of his peers. They just love that. Google Classroom is a great resource, but all of our communications will also be sent home in hard copy format. We'll mostly be using Classroom as a way to post reference recordings so the students can listen to their music and compare their technique to that of professionals, and also as a resource for extra help on their instruments. We'll also have announcements for major performances or assignments. Remind is simply another way for you to reach me with questions that require an immediate response, and I'll be using it only as a last-minute reminder for performances, for which you'll have already received a hard copy 4 to 6 weeks prior. The beauty of Remind is that it keeps all of our contact info private, so you don't have to worry about your phone number ever getting added to more marketing lists. The grading is pretty straightforward. The skills and testing, we do test them on their technique and their skills in class. And performance, we do grade based on standards, and performance is a standard. We are a performing group. Public performance is a life skill that they need to learn. And so those are all factored into the grade. And then we get to rehearsal skills. Rehearsal time is spent learning the music, but this is our one chance to really teach the life skills that are going to make them successful no matter what they do later in life. Most of my students don't need to know how to play a C sharp in 20 years, whether they're doctors, lawyers, own a restaurant, manage a restaurant, or bus tables in a restaurant. They are going to need to understand and be pretty good with basic skills like teamwork, discipline, diligence, responsibility, integrity, trust, leadership, citizenship, respect, professionalism, dedication, commitment, perseverance. These are the skills that will make them successful later in life. And that's what I want for all my students. I want to make sure that I give them every tool they have to be successful later in life, and that's what we grade on. The first item posted in your child's Google Classroom page is a calendar of events for the year. You'll receive a hard copy notice of the performance and all relevant details like where it's at, when to be there, what to wear, 4 to 6 weeks before the performance. Please check to find the events for your student and their ensemble. You'll receive a similar notice if any events are added to the lineup. We're not limited to only the music and performances I organize and run. We also have opportunities for students who find themselves constantly in need of additional challenge. Honor groups are by audition only and include some of the best middle school musicians in the entire state. Our performances are very much like what other classes call final exams. We take the material we've been preparing and then we demonstrate our progress publicly, sometimes in front of hundreds of people. Unlike other classes, these final exams are not so easy to retake. Reserving the facility, getting admin and custodial services scheduled, setting up chairs and equipment. It takes weeks to get everything prepared properly for just a 1-hour concert. If one of the emergencies listed here occurs, it's possible to do some makeup work to recover the lost points, but only with a pre-approved absence or a genuine family emergency will it be possible to make all the points up. We're going to try and get some uniform tops for the upper orchestra and band this year that are machine washable and that can be checked out to students for the entire school year. For the 6th grade band and 6th grade orchestra, you'll be receiving a shirt when you attend the annual retreat, and the dates for that is listed on the calendar. The shirt will be your uniform top for the year. These are the required materials for the year. Pretty cut and dry. Aside from the instrument, I try very hard not to contribute too much to the weight of middle schooler backpacks. I know they've got a lot on their mind and a lot to think about, and so I try not to add to that any more than I absolutely have to. Okay, this part's pretty important. The biggest, most helpful thing you can do to ensure the success of your student in my class is encourage them to practice with a stern voice if necessary. The nature of this class is such that no student can ever just hover in a state of competence. They're either practicing, which allows them to play more enjoyable music, think going from Twinkle Twinkle to the Star Wars theme. And that motivates them to practice more, which restarts the whole cycle. Or over on the right-hand side, they don't practice, which means they fall behind in class, which means they don't understand the material, which turns into frustration with the music and the instrument, and that definitely doesn't motivate them to practice. Set aside 20 to 30 minutes per day and treat it like homework from any other class, and everything should come up just sunshine and unicorn sparkles. If your student plays something less portable like a tuba or an upright bass, they're welcome to simply put in their practice minutes here at CKMS before school, during enrichment, during honor time, or after school. We have plenty of practice rooms and spaces available for them to work privately and not have to worry about being self-conscious of other students listening to them. Thank you again for your time and your support. I'm looking forward to an exciting year with our young musicians.